Hey guys, so today I'm going to show you real quick a little tutorial on how to use the paint pens and also how to get started with your Pac Man. So our goal is to make a Pac Man maze. So one of the first things we want to do is we have to draw out the maze. We're not using Sharpies today, we're going to focus on pencil and then paint markers. So to start with, okay, we'll worry about our name a little later in case we have to use the back. But we're going to start with a rectangle in the middle. My rectangle is not perfect. Yours doesn't have to be either, but just something like a rectangle. From this point on, we want to use letter uppercase T, L's, and other rectangles. So, for example, if you want to do like myself, upside down T, leave some space, right side up T. I'm going to use a letter L on this side and a backwards L. So I'm leaving space. So I did an uppercase T, upside down T, uppercase L, backwards L. And this is already kind of mapping out our maze and where your Pac-Man can go. From this point, you can add other rectangles. If you look at the original game screen, there are rectangles, there are straight lines. You do not have to do it like mine. I'm just giving you an example that you can run with. If you want to do another T, if you want to do another L, you just want to create a maze that you can put the little dots and our little Pac-Man into. You might want to leave some room at the top if you want to write high score and actually like write a score number, like you want to make it look like the original game. When you're at this point, you're ready for color, okay? Now, before color, you might want to make these a little bigger. So if you want to do the trick where you add another line next to it to make it like a bubble or a block letter, or you can always do the classic bubble around, and you can erase this part later. So those are options. You don't have to if you don't want to. So I'm gonna go ahead and bubble all my letters. You don't have to bubble the rectangles because they're already a shape. And the reason I'm doing this is just to create a little bit more fun in my visual and add some more color when I get to the paint pens. But if you'd rather just keep it the lines, that's totally fine. And I'm almost done. And if you make a mistake, you can erase. I'm gonna worry about that later. All right. Looks good to me. And you might say that does not look anything like a Pac Man maze. And that's all right, we're gonna get there. So the next step is we wanna do this. We wanna add color. So if any of you remember these are acrylic paint pens. Now when I say acrylic, acrylic paint stains clothing. We do not wanna get this anywhere else but on our papers and maybe on a piece of scrap paper. We don't want it on our skin. It will wash off with a little work. And we definitely don't want it on anyone else, especially our clothes. So you will get some scrap paper on your table. You want to get these paint pens activated. So some of you, your first thing you want to do is pick them up and shake them in the air. Please don't do that, especially when the cap is off. So when you take the cap off, some of them might be a little hard to get off. Okay, you can see here is the paint pen tip. Okay, you can try writing with it. If it's a little dry, what I do is I tap, 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 and you can see the more you tap on it, the more the paint will come off. You want to do this first on the scrap paper. And now you definitely do not want to shake this because paint can squirt out of the paint pen. So you're going to take your paint pens and you have a ton of colors. This is what the baskets will look like, okay? A lot of different colors. You probably don't want to use white today. You probably want to use all the different colors. I'm going to start with red. So take the cap off. They can fit on the end if you don't want to lose it. I'm not shaking it, but I'm tapping it. I've tapped it, I've got it going. And just gently outline. If you need another tap to make sure you still have enough paint. I am not pushing down hard when I outline. Okay, I'm gonna switch a color. I'm gonna go to green. Tap, tap, tap. Got it going. Gently go around. And that is it. Now for the dots on our maze, you can see on my example here, I did all yellow dots, kind of like the traditional game. So that is up to you. So I'm gonna show you real quick how to do ghost, dots, and Pac Man. So for the dots, I'm gonna stick with yellow. If your paint gets stuck, make sure you give it to me because this part can untwist and you can have a big mess if that dumps out. So I'm just gonna do little yellow dots like I'm building the Pac Man maze, and I'm just doing a little circle of paint and creating my maze. And that's it for the dots. For Pac Man, if it's easier for you to draw him, easiest way to draw him, draw a circle, put a dot in the middle, draw a V. Take your paint pen and fill it in. And if your paint pen seems dry, tap, 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 see that little puddle? That means I got it going. And fill in your Pac Man. You can even tap a little on your paper if it's a big space. And you can erase that little line later. For a ghost, same thing. I'm gonna do Pinky the Ghost. I'm gonna use pink, uncap, tap, tap, tap. That one was a little dry, get it going. So, upside down U, or rainbow, wiggly line. Draw 2 ovals for the eyes. 2 little C shapes for the pupil. Color in. If you make a mistake with the paint pens, we can't fix it. We can cover it up with a different color, but keep that in mind. So if you want to draw it in pencil first, you can. Fun fact, most of the Pac Man ghosts have blue eyes. Add a blue dot, and there you have it. There's your little ghost. If you want to add other details, for example, you can collect cherries in the game. You can add other details. Tap, 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 make sure it's working. So, that is how to use the paint pens and how to draw your Pac Man. So I hope that made sense. And you can write high score and actually put a score at the top too if you want. So, I hope you have fun with this. Enjoy, and I'll see you later.